So psych and psych language is our coming topic. Psych is a long-term AI project. Some scientists worked with a common aim to build an intelligent system for using along with real-world knowledge. Some of the scientists worked with a common vision for building an intelligent system to be used for real-world knowledge. And it's resulted in the Psych project. It's a very large knowledge base project. It used a very huge knowledge base. And it aimed at capturing human common sense knowledge. We know that the difference between a human and a machine is in the area of common sense. So the main aim of Psych project was to capture human common sense knowledge. Initially, they captured knowledge from randomly selected articles in the Encyclopedia Britannica. They captured the knowledge from some articles which were published in the Encyclopedia Britannica. And they encoded both implicit and explicit knowledge. And Psych is an AI system that brings human-like understanding and reasoning to complicated problems or situations. So the Psych can be applied to complicated systems, and it can handle those systems or solve those systems like humans do. It's the world's largest common sense knowledge base, and by applying intelligent reasoning and common sense to data and knowledge, Psych helps us to solve challenging business problems. So being the largest common sense knowledge base, it can be applied for reasoning and common sense to data and knowledge for solving challenging applications or problems. Let's see an example. Suppose we read that Wellington learned of Napoleon's death. So naturally, Wellington knew that Napoleon is dead. So Napoleon died first. Wellington is also not with us now. So he has also died. But Napoleon died first. Then human can conclude that Napoleon never knew that Wellington had died. Why do we do this? Or how do we do this? We require special implicit knowledge or common sense, like we know that we only die once. And once we are not alive, we stay dead forever. You cannot learn anything when you are dead, and time cannot go backward. With all these reasonings, we say that the person who dies first will never be able to know the death of the second person. So this is not possible with machines. That is where the human intelligence works. So with this Psych project, it was able to conclude this answer very rightly within seconds or within microseconds. So with the application or use of this long-term project, it could simulate the human common sense intelligence. Now, why do we use a large knowledge base? The reason for building large knowledge base are major reasons are three in number. One is the brittleness. Brittle means which is hard and breakable. Even though it is hard, it is breakable. That is the meaning of the word brittleness. When we use specialized knowledge bases, then there is a chance of hard encoding, or we cannot encode new situations. It's very difficult to encode new situations when we have a specialized knowledge base. Suppose if I say that you come to the college tomorrow, then it's a general statement. You can come by bus, or you can come with a two-wheeler, and you can come at any time, because I have not said anything about the time of reporting or how you have to come to the college. Suppose I am specifically saying that you have to attend the college at 10 o'clock. Then many of your freedom is removed from that specific statement. Likewise, if we have a specified knowledge base, we are restricted from many of the actions. So this is one of the reasons for building large knowledge base. Then another one is form and content. We have learned that knowledge can be represented in many forms, and all of these forms are not suitable for artificial intelligence purposes. So the form is a criteria, and the content that is being represented may also be not in a form or not suitable for AI applications. So if we are having a large knowledge base, we can gather information from many types of forms and many content that are available. So this is one reason for large knowledge base. Then another one is shared knowledge. The system that share the same primitives can easily communicate with one another. So if we have a very large knowledge base, that very large knowledge base can be shared between many systems, and they can communicate with each other because they are all sharing the same primitive. So these are the reasons for building large knowledge base. Then we have the Cyc language, which is denoted by CYCL. The Cyc's knowledge is encoded in Cyc language. It's a frame-based system. We have learned that frame is better or effective for gathering information, which is better than a logical form of representation. We have seen that before. So here CYC language is a frame-based system, and it generalizes the aim of inheritance, because frames are the extended form of semantic net, and semantic net is based on inheritance. So many of the properties can be inherited to the lower level. So it generalizes the aim of inheritance. Again, let's see an example. All birds have two legs. So any frame with bird on its instance slot inherits value on leg slot. When we go with the slot and filler form, the frames will be having many fields, and it will be having many values, and these fields and values are known as slot and filler. And if we are inheriting the properties of a bird, and leg having two legs is one of the property, naturally it will be stored in the lower level. The slot of legs will be stored as with the filler value 2 if the instance of that object is a bird. In addition to frames, the CYC language contains constrained language based on conditions to express first order logic expression. We will be converting that into some conditions and its matching actions, because logical reasoning is hard to compute. That also we have seen. Logical reasoning is very hard to compute, and it is effective to use if we have tables like left hand side and right hand side with some conditions and corresponding actions. That also we have seen in previous chapters. Then CYC supports 20 types of inference mechanism. So expert systems use inference engines for solving problems, and CYC is supporting 20 types of such problem solving mechanisms. Then the constrained language provides two levels of representation. One is the epistemological level, EL, which is relating to theory of knowledge, and the other one is heuristic level, HL, which learns themselves. So one is related with theory of the knowledge and the other is related with the knowledge itself. It is learning from the knowledge available. So translating programs available for automatically converting EL statements to HL. We are having translating programs for automatically converting EL to HL. We are in need of HL situations. So we are having translating programs along with CYC language that converts the EL portion into its corresponding HL format. So EL provides a clean, simple functional interface to CYC because it is based on theoretical knowledge, and HL represents a way of combining. ELHL represents a combination of these two, represents a way of combining neatness of logic based on theory with the computational efficiency of frames, because HL is working on frames. So it is computationally efficient HL, and EL is based on logic of theory or theory of logic. In addition to frames, inference mechanism, constrained language, CYCL performs these two actions also: consistency checking and conflict resolution. Then we have two applications of expert system. One is Mycin and the other is Dendral. They are the applications of expert system or artificial intelligence in the field of medicine and chemical analysis, and this is explained in a short video.